These renovations are getting out of hand. We have an interior project that's been lingering, and I swear to you, I think about it every night before I go to bed, and it's the first thing I think about when I wake up in the morning. And I'm like, why have you not finished the pantry?
If I wrote you a song, if I got every word perfectly weighted on a thin piece of paper, would it make any difference? Would it change for the better if I wrote you a poem, if I posted a letter?
We are super motivated today. We woke up, the sun was shining, and we were like, kids are at school, we're gonna go outside and we're gonna do as much as we possibly can for cleanup on the property. We have a lot to get done before we can tackle some of the projects we have coming up on the outside. But in order to even think about outside projects, we have an interior project that's been lingering, and I swear to you, I think about it every night before I go to bed, and it's the first thing I think about when I wake up in the morning. And I'm like, why have you not finished the pantry? Well, I'll tell you why. Because I built a lot of plain white cabinets in the kitchen. And then I took time and I came in to this space and I built more white cabinets for the laundry room side. And then I decided that wasn't enough white cabinets and that I was gonna box in our fridge and build our vacuum garage. And then I realized I needed a break from making white cabinets. And it isn't making the cabinets, like painting them white, putting them together, bringing the design to life. It is the mess of building the cabinets, and specifically the runners along the perimeter to make the shaker style part. That is so messy to be able to make the grooves. You get all the saws and make all the sawdust mess, and over the winter it's just not ideal to work outside when sometimes it's -10 with the wind chill and I have to wear a face covering and you're in your winter gear and everything comes in dusty, so everything you wear has to be washed and you track it all in and you make a huge mess. So I just needed a break from making cabinets. Last week I did a little bit of work in here and then the weather got really nice again and we were working outside. But today we're getting prepped because the next 2 days is gonna be bad weather and we're gonna get back in the pantry and finish this space up. When you're working on a complete home renovation, you always have a lot of scrap pieces, and oftentimes those pieces are still good for something. And so we are going to be utilizing a lot of these materials, but they've been kind of sitting throughout the winter on our front lawn here. And we do not like that that is obviously an eyesore on the front here, and we have to look at it every day, and it's like there's so many pieces here that need to be dealt with. So we're going to organize all the pieces that we still have left here. What can we utilize for coops? What other projects do we need to complete on the homestead that will need some of these parts for, and put it in an organized way on the homestead here so it's not sitting kind of where we dropped it off when it first got here.
Should I hit record now? Start that quad!
Start the quad!
Why don't we let it grow? Why don't we let it? Why don't we let it grow? It grows stronger for every day. We just can't keep it away. No, grow. It grows stronger for every day. We just can't keep it away. Oh, make you move before someone takes your place. I know how you feel, but you're scared to say to my face. I sure know you want it, afraid to let it show. And I know you need it. Why don't we let it grow? Why don't we let it? Why don't we let it grow? It grows stronger for every day. We just can't keep it away. It grows stronger for every day. We just can't keep it away. Make you move before someone takes your place. I see you watching me when we're with our friends. There's definitely something in the air. So let's take it from there. Why don't we let it grow? And I know you need it. Why don't we let it grow?
What happened, Chase?
You're fired. You got this. It's kind of wild just how quickly things can get really disorganized and out of hand when you're renovating. We kind of at the end of every single day working on renovations, you're so tired from doing the work in the day, and then you're like, oh, I'll clean up in the morning, or we'll just put this here until tomorrow, or you just kind of bypass it, and then the next day you keep working, and it's kind of a cycle. So it can be so daunting to look out and think that you have so many loose ends that need to get completed when you have little piles of things that you know you're going to need. So you're like, should I move it now? I know I'm going to need it next week, and then maybe the weather changes. So many different variables, but I think we'll feel so good when we get some of our exterior project materials kind of organized and put into a spot where we don't feel like they're looking for us when we first come out to do our work every single day, thinking, okay, when we're done our work today, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. Well, today we're getting to it. I think I just lost my four-wheeler.
I think you did.
He's in
I
need
know
of
you
an
did.
upgrade from his little Digi. He was on a little 90 DS, and he's definitely been wanting to have a larger one, so I guess I forfeit mine. Happy to do so. Who needs grass? I fully anticipated that even though we really were hoping spring was going to be here. You saw last week I worked for a full day when the weather was crummy in the pantry, and I really wanted to get it finished, and I thought the weather got so nice that we just need to be outside right now just for like daily enjoyment of being out in the sun by the end of winter. You just need those days outside to work on projects and just let the sun hit your face and be like, spring is around the corner. I knew I would have some bad weather coming still because winter's not totally gone yet here. So the next 2 days are going to be pretty rough for weather for us. And so today we're going to do a little bit of prep to do the final stages of part of the pantry that we need to make the mess with outside, get our prep work done today so we can spend the next couple of days finishing the pantry for our reveal for the pantry on Saturday. So today it'll be so nice to get this part of the pantry done that I keep putting off because I've made so many cabinet doors that I'm kind of over it, but I know I'll be so thrilled when I finally get it done. So since the sun is shining and the weather's nice today, we're gonna get the side rails for all of the doors ripped with the table saw. And I've been using Philip and I both to do the cabinet door sides because it's so much easier with the long boards. When we're trying to make the rail for the thin parts of the door fronts to go in, 2 people is so much easier. And since we're using the table saw to do it, it's kind of a must. So it's nice that the weather's great today. But we have 5, 10, say 12 boards to rip to size and then make our runners in them to prep for the next 2 days inside.
Yeah.
Finally, let's just get this done so I can stop thinking about not doing this part of the project.
I woke up in the middle of the night. Ooh, na, na, na. And I wondered how you're always right. It gets me.
Philip just went to do a few chores with the horses, and when I'm outside on days like this, and Philip and I are just together working on different things around the acreage, just kind of like doing our regular daily routine chores, whether it's just getting the dogs out and feeding everyone, getting the horses out, taking them for a little trail walk, feeding our ducks and chickens, helping our kids with their projects for school, basically anything that we do together. I'm always so thankful that I have Philip. I know he's probably not gonna see this until he edits the video, or maybe till we work on editing it later, but I can probably think that you guys can see on the other end how lucky I am to have Philip and how all of the dreams and aspirations that we do, you guys see us try to accomplish on our channel. But the truth is, I couldn't do all of that without him, because having someone that supports and encourages me and always rises me up is how I'm able to get all this done. And I know I could do it on my own if I had to, but life sure is better with him. So sometimes I just remind myself on these days to stop and be thankful and think about all of the amazing things that we're doing together and not take any of it for granted. So maybe this little message can inspire you to think of something that you're super thankful for, or something that inspires you and helps to rise you up, and like focus on all of the amazing things that you have going on. Because this hasn't been the best week for us, but it's been an amazing week because we have each other and we're always helping to rise each other up. And it's so fun to be able to show the dynamic that we have together for 20 years. And not every day is easy, but every day we love each other that much more, and we get to build everything that we're doing here together.
I need to know that you're staying. When I look back, I can see you're hiding, waiting for a moment to step in. And I'll never understand how you saw it coming. Oh, but I will love you for it all. When I look back, I can see you're hiding, waiting for a moment to step in. Oh, and I'll never understand how you saw it coming. Oh, but I will love you for it all. Yeah, I will love you for it all.
Ruby just got put up on the tow truck. We have a CAA package, so that's really helpful since she's been at the shop multiple times this year. It's just getting her all loaded up here so she can head to the mechanic that we've been using to fix her. And they're gonna look at Ruby tomorrow at 11. So we should know by end of day tomorrow what we're looking at for repairs. We're not giving up hope on you yet, Ruby. Good luck, Ruby. This week, our ultimate goal, and we've been working on it over the past, I would say 48 hours. Philip and I have spent every extra waking minute outside trying to do as much cleanup as we possibly can. Like working on all of the renovations in the house has created, I'm gonna call it like winter mess. And we have like the winter blues where we just wanna be outside working on projects, and you just get those little piles of unfinished things outside, or loose parts, or things that you just know that you really need to find a spot for. But while we relocate things and move things around and find homes for everything, there isn't really like a spot for everything when it's construction renovation type stuff. So you don't necessarily want it in the garage,
But we don't want it on the front lawn.
we don't want it on the front lawn. Sometimes we have like extra wood pieces at the front entryway, or we have a little pile in the corner of the pantry because we're still working on that, or paint cans, or like different things for different projects. And sometimes you don't want to completely tuck them away because you know I'm going to use those right in just a few minutes or tomorrow or something, but sometimes the weather prevents you from getting to that, and we're just kind of like over the mess of the renovation.
If you lived in a renovation zone, then you totally understand what we're talking about.
So we are just focusing on getting everything cleaned up outside. Philip's been clearing tons of trees, all the stuff that we were pulling down from over here by the brook that fell in the storm. We've been organizing, like we saw earlier in the video, all of the wood and extra supplies that were left from siding and different indoor projects. We have some really huge outdoor projects coming up. In addition to our number one goal this week is finishing the pantry. So our reveal for the pantry will be on Saturday, because we're the next 2 days inside with the crummy weather that's coming to be able to finish that up and be able to finally get that finished, because our garden is going to be, if you've seen some of our starter seeds on Instagram, we've been having a lot of good success with some of the seeds that we planted a few weeks ago. Chickens are getting their eviction finally after sometime next week, so we can put our seedlings in the greenhouse and be able to get our garden going, because we need to do all of that to be able to fill up our pantry with all of our homesteading preserves that we're going to do over the course of like spring, summer, fall into winter. So we're really excited to get the pantry done so we can get all of the renovation mess from that cleaned up and start getting things into the pantry space. Stay tuned for tomorrow's episode, because Philip and I are locking ourselves in this pantry for the next 48 hours so that we can finally reveal this pantry space to you on Saturday. This weekend, we're super excited because we have 2 days of really fun family content that we're doing for Easter. Not Easter content, but just a really fun content schedule for you guys that we can't wait to share with you. and we have our boys home for 5 days. So this is going to be so nice for our family. We're excited to see you guys on our long weekend and spend some family time with our YouTube family. We love you. Thank you so much for watching. Don't miss our reveal and our work this week on our pantry. I love you, and I will see you tomorrow.